Hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. If you're new here, you know the drill. Don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2K, 150 odd away from 2K. So guys, spread the word, tell a friend to tell a friend, and get us over the line, man. It'll be super great if we can kind of hit that milestone before the end of the season. Um, Talking about the end of the season, we were kind of thinking, a couple of weeks back, our season was basically done, but here we are in Munich battling it out with Bayern, and to say the least, it delivered. It was a titanic clash. It held a lot of pedigree history going into it. We delved into it pretty much. We delved into pretty much everything, over the last couple of days, breaking it down from both the Bayern's perspective and our perspective. And one thing that all of us were, kind of, at least me and Mo, the Madrid side, were, super adamant on was the fact that no matter how pessimistic Bayern's fan base might be, or the general consensus might be, this was going to be a much more even affair than the average football fan would think, because once the Champions League anthem blares and the lights are out, teams rise to the occasion, and we saw that a half-fit Sane just all of a sudden looked like the biggest threat on the pitch for the first 15 minutes. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes. Every single pass to him was him being one-on-one with someone, or him basically in a prime position to impact a big goal for his side. And from the first 10-15 minutes, I knew the tone that I predicted going into this tie compared to some of the wafflers was absolutely true. What my fears were absolutely true, because we have gamesmanship and game management in the equation under Carlo ever since his return to the Bernabeu. We have that in our book, especially if the first leg is away. We kind of tend to take it to the second leg and then finish off the business. And it was evident from how we set up, how the game went about. Before we get into it, big up our partners, manscaped.com. The pinned comment is in the live chat, and the link is also in the description below. Go check it out. LBR 20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. Of course, the pioneers of men's grooming. They have a huge catalog of products ranging from lingerie, trimmers, you name it. Probably Manscaped has it. Go show them some love. Show us some love. It'll be super great. If you can send us a screenshot of your order, if you do manage to buy something from Manscaped, this is the perfect excuse. You guys have been asking us how we can contribute to the pod, and this is it, people. Right, big up Mo, man. Talk to me. Champions League semi-final settings. The match in its entirety delivered, even though both fan bases can be quite nitpicky about how they could have done better in many phases.
Yeah, man, I completely agree with your sentiment on the introduction that you did about how, despite what everybody else was saying in the social media, about how this was going to be one-sided, how Real Madrid were completely going to dominate Bayern Munich and everything. I think we never believed that to be the case, and we were always the voice of reason, so I kind of have to tap ourselves on the back. But that aside, 100%. I think this game truly lived up to the name, truly lived up to the billing. This was a European Clasico, like I said in the chat. For me, I couldn't even watch Vinicius go up to take that penalty because I was so nervous. So these are the games you want to watch, and these are the games that the players, I'm sure, want to play in. So totally lived up to it, and a wonderful game. And these are the kind of games you have to go through and win if you want to go through and play in the biggest game of them all. The Champions League final.
100%. Talking about nerves, I was completely blown away by how Bayern started the game and how lackadaisical we were, especially in transition. Like, we were kind of looking at each other to block out passing lanes, trying to basically react and not really adjusting ourselves in the first 15-20 minutes. Um, Kane had the audacity to even go for a shot from the halfway line. That kind of says it all, because they had um, wind in their sails. They felt that the momentum is gonna carry through. But like we always do, we persevere. We dig in, and we basically is an annoying team to play against, because if someone is actually tuning in for the first time watching, oh yeah, this is the Champions League semi-finals, they'll be like, Real Madrid, really? Are they 14-time Champions League winners? They are on the ropes. They're basically struggling to get out, looking like they're going to concede any moment, and then boom, Cruz comes in with the killer dagger ball, um, which kind of unlocks Bayern's defense. Like, we were trying to do it, it wasn't quite coming off. Their press was pretty well thought out. We didn't have much space. Bayern had it, pretty much how they wanted for the first 15-20 minutes, until we kind of picked the lock with Cruz. Mo, walk us through the goal, man. Inch perfect from Toni Kroos.
Exactly, man. Like we said, when you watch that pass, you cannot help but marvel at it. I mean, what an incredible pass it was, and it befits the stage. I mean, Champions League is supposed to be the stage for the best football being played in the world, and it was truly a pass. Is one of the best passes that I've ever seen in my life. That vision to play that ball, in behind, to notice the fact that Kim Min-jae is like kind of sticking to Vinicius Junior, kind of stepping out, so there is space in between.
Too tight.
Yeah, that vision to play that ball, and then the next thing is putting the perfect weight and getting the ball to go into the area that he wanted to. And then you also have to give kudos to Vinicius for making that run, for being able to to escape from Kim Min-jae being tied to him, and he ran into space, was able to reach that ball. This goal totally reminded me of the goal that Real Madrid scored against Liverpool when during the COVID season. I think it's 2021 when we were playing at the Di Stefano. Yeah. Cruz kind of played a similar pass, like not the same thing, but just like
it was a long ball though.
Yeah, it was an aerial ball, but that same vision, same vision and same coordination of Vinicius, who knows how to run and where to run into. So brilliant goal. This is what Real Madrid is all about. Like you said, we didn't have the best of opening 15-20 minutes. I think we kind of got stuck out tactically, because we weren't able to handle their press, and we weren't able to get the ball out of our back, because I kind of expected Ancelotti to start with Tchouaméni and Rudiger, but he went with Nacho, and I think Nacho kind of had like a couple of poor possessions where he gave the ball away, and he kind of attracted pressure onto us. So in those minutes, I think Real Madrid did struggle a little bit, but Ancelotti kind of made switches on the fly. He had Cruz and Tchouaméni drop a little bit deeper. That kind of helped us progress the ball, but it was okay, and that goal completely changed the momentum, because from then on I felt like even though we might not have had the majority of the ball, we still kind of controlled and dictated the play and dictated how the game was being played.
100%. I would like to, we'll talk about the intricacies regarding Nacho and Tchouaméni, but talking about the finish from Vinny, while watching it, in real time, I was like, yeah, that's probably a bit lucky. But then again, in slow motion from the other angle, when I see that Vinny basically just has the instinct, or just say the conviction, to decide that he can basically place it underneath the oncoming lunge of Neuer is just absolutely brilliant. I give this kid a lot of stick, and for many right reasons. I still believe that he could have been a little bit more clinical with his decision making, but yeah, I'll always expect him to be the best. That's just the expectation I put on Vinny. But yeah, that finish just blew me away. It just had the perfect amount of power, the perfect amount of height, elevation onto the finish, that just completely bamboozled Neuer. If you zoom in on Neuer while conceding the goal, and the immediate aftermath, he just basically looks infuriated, like how he can't really believe that he conceded a goal that kind of was put underneath his arm. But it just goes to show Vinicius is slowly and truly becoming this big game player that is indispensable.
I mean,
He
I think
only
I've
has
seen Vinicius run into the space and score from there always. I think for me, the issue with Vinicius has always been when he's in those close spaces and trying to make the right decision, or when he has those chances where there is a gaping hole on one side and there's a close space on the other, and he tries to go into the close space. That is something that has like
remember the quick free kick.
That troubles me with Vinicius. But like overall, when he's in areas like this, especially when he's running into space, I think he has brilliant finishing. If you remember the goal he scored against Napoli, he kind of ran into space and he got into a similar space and he knew where to put it. So I think in these situations, Vinicius is more instinctive, and when he's more instinctive, his finishing is much better. But once he gets like tries to think and tries to do a little bit too much, that's when I think he kind of struggles a little bit. And I think when Ancelotti came, the first thing Vinicius, his scoring improved, and when he was asked in the interview, he said that Ancelotti told him to do less in the box, be more instinctive, and that
2-3 touches and then
that is what helped him like initially improve it. So for me, like I always think like in these areas I always back Vinicius to score. But having said that, I think going up against Neuer was a good instructive lesson for our attackers. Not only Vinicius but also Rodrigo and Bellingham, because Bellingham has definitely gone against him previously, but Vinicius and Rodrigo, I think this was the first time they were going against him in a competitive match, at least at club level. I don't know if Brazil has played Germany or whatever. But I think in this situation, you kind of realize how good a keeper is, because in the second half, Vinicius had a chance to score, but how quickly Neuer closes him down and cuts off any space for him to score.
The angle was super tight.
Yeah, so that is what you realize when you play against keepers like Neuer. He's such a brilliant guy. He's a legend of the game. So I think for Vinicius and Rodrigo, I think this was a very instructive game.
100%. Going back to where you mentioned that when he gets a bit of time and then he is basically asked to kind of be a little thoughtful in what he does instead of being instinctive. We saw, like, I was fuming at the quick corner that Cruz took, and then Vinny basically took the decision to basically shoot from a non-existent angle down the right. Stuff like that will be ironed out, definitely, because he has come a long way. Has come a long way, and rightfully so. Like how you said, when he is basically breaking in on goal, that's his bread and butter, and he is just super lethal from positions like it. And the quick presence of mind to basically drop deep and then turn. Like, how many times does he do that? Like, people always know coming into a game that Vinny is going to basically just try to spin them every chance he gets, but nobody has an answer to it. It's such a simple move, but the venom in his turns just completely bamboozles even the most elite of centre backs. It's a joy to see.
Our guest is here.
Liam is here?
Yeah, Liam is here.
Get to the chats a bit. Big up, Liam, big up. Just settle in. I'll get to a few of the comments and then get back to you, mate. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Marcus, big up Marcus. He was mentioning Vinny is the next big thing. Big up Ashik was saying refereeing was fantastic. Oops, I must have pissed Xavi off. Himati was mentioning very fair result today. Respect to Bayern, Musiala had Vasquez's number, but we had Kim's number. We can win in front of our home crowd. Yeah, that's what the whole game plan was about. Taking some sort of a result back to the Bernabeu was our number one motive. Madrid TV, big up Madrid TV, he was mentioning what a game. Hassan, big up Hassan, he was saying first 20 odd minutes were Real Madrid heritage suffering. That's a brilliant way to put it. this heritage has this part that's called suffering that has been, the most prominent trait that we have showcased, and perseverance, that we have showcased over the last 3-4 years, 100%, and give all the fans high blood pressure, then score at your first opportunity. It's funny. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny how we work. Like, I'm pretty sure, hopefully we'll have Francesco on in the summer. Like, it'll be really interesting, like, to just pick his brains and ask him what goes into thought process of Carlo, what goes into the game plan when we especially go in away, or in big games when we kind of decide to soak up the pressure and then deal with it. Like, I'll really have to ask him, does soaking up pressure mean we switch off every 5 seconds? Because I'm pretty sure that's not part of the game plan. But it happens anyway, and it just completely is nerve-wracking to watch. Madrid TV was mentioning first 15 minutes they dominated us, and then we grew into the game and scored. By the way, Cruz, what a pass! That's why he's one of the best midfielders of all time, 100%. He was also mentioning, I believe we'll win at home next week and go through to the final. Ala Madrid. Milan was mentioning, Vinny played by himself in attack tonight. Really disappointed in Jude and Rodrigo. Yeah, our attack was completely non-existent, let's be honest. Vinny was the sole outlet most of the times, and Rodrigo did try to make something happen, but more often than not, the service support runs.
I don't think we were helped by the tactics that Ancelotti went with, especially in attack, because the thing is, like, we were completely lacking a central presence. There was nobody to coordinate, and when Jude is usually playing on the left, he kind of moves into the central areas and helps connect the attack. But with Rodrigo, he was playing extremely on the left. He was not moving into the central areas at all. So that kind of hurt us. So I think that kind of isolated Vinicius, and most of our attacks that we started from the right side, because I think Bayern did well to clog up the left areas for us to progress out of. So we had to do a lot of our good work from the right side. So once we started doing that, there was no connection between Vinicius and Jude, because there was no presence in between. So I think that definitely hurt us. So Ancelotti had to make a lot of changes, to get our attack functioning, especially in the second half when he kind of switched Rodrigo back onto the right. Because till then I kind of felt that Rodrigo was being ineffective. It was only towards the end that Rodrigo started getting better. With Jude, I thought, Jude, I don't want to be too harsh and say that he was like completely ineffective, because I like some of the things that he did.
He put in a shift. His defensive prowess was still out on show.
Even in the attack, I kind of found him, he had good touches on the ball. He was trying to get away from defenders, and make something happen. But that disconnect between the left and the right side, especially in the opponent half, really hurt us. So it didn't really come off. I was actually surprised that Ancelotti took Jude off, but it is what it is. He kind of stuck with Rodrigo. Then Vinicius and Rodrigo combined to win that penalty. So I guess Rodrigo,
100%,
Ancelotti definitely knows more than I do.
It paid off. And the fact that they were crowding our left was basically, it was a trap set out for Nacho, and I think it worked.
I think more than Nacho,
to a great extent.
I think more than Nacho, it's about Mendy, because his passing under pressure really suffers. So
both of them. I don't think they help each other.
Trigger for a lot of teams when we play against them. As soon as he gets the ball, a lot of teams
I honestly, this is my personal opinion, but I think Mendy is so much more better than Nacho.
On the ball, Nacho is much better than Mendy. There is no competition. I don't know, why I don't think that, but
I don't know. Mendy, I believe, can get out of tighter spots than Nacho, but we have seen both of them. If you
are talking about the dribbles than Mendy does, definitely I will give you that. But when it comes to passing under pressure, I think Nacho is much better.
Yeah, we agree to disagree. But without further ado, man, Liam, let's get the Bayern perspective into the equation. Tell me, bro, how's it feeling, especially after that result? And weren't we right when we said that Bayern really has a much bigger chance than you guys thought initially?
Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you for having me on, obviously, again. And,
big up.
I apologise for being late. I really feel like Bayern should have won that game. I really do. I think you take Kim and Jay, those mistakes out, and we should win. And I don't want to be disrespectful to Madrid, because Madrid are Madrid. But at the same time, if Leroy Sané can score that first chance,
Yeah.
it would have been a different game. Maybe in the sense of you guys maybe would have woken up. Because the first 16 odd minutes, it was just all Bayern, and it's annoying the fact that we don't take our chances. Leroy Sané, I can't stand him. I really, really can't. I know he gets the goal to get us back in it, but my word, he is just diabolical. And I was saying to my stream, I was saying, like, look at Vinny. Kim Min-jae makes the mistake. Vinny goes and scores straight away. Clinical, absolutely clinical. I know that it's a bit of a different chance to what Sané had, but Sané needs to bury that. I don't know if you should blame Sané for the fact that he didn't bury it, or the fact that it's Tuchel's fault for playing him on the left. I don't know why he was playing on the left. Jamal Musiala for the first half was diabolically crap. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. Second half you switch him over and he was cooking, absolutely cooking. So it's like, I feel like Bayern Munich should have won that game. I'm not happy with the result. I'm really, really not. I was getting called negative in my chat, but I know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I said in my thing, the start of my stream, I said, if we're going to blow them away, we need to properly blow them away where they cannot even come close to us. Because I know what's going to happen if we get a 1 or 2 goal lead on you guys. You're going to come back in, and you did. So, I think Kim Min-jae will be at fault for most of, he is at fault for the goals, but he will be like the people will blame Kim Min-jae. But I also think Tuchel putting him in at last minute, he hasn't been playing for us. What are we expecting as fans? We can't expect a 10 out of 10 performance like he's been playing every single game, because he hasn't. He's just been sitting on the bench, holding the bench, because we had Eric Dyer and De Ligt. So, yeah, that's my thoughts, mate. But I feel really depleted, because I feel like we had a chance today to beat you guys, and we didn't take it.
100%. The way you guys started and the amount of chances you guys were, getting. Muller could have basically, scored it a couple of times, could have shot himself. Chouameni was incredible in terms of, helping us kind of navigate those phases. But yeah, like, I completely understand why you might feel hardened by, but Liam, this is how we operate, right?
100.
People don't like it. I don't like it, right? Like, I don't like the suffering per se, because we should be a much more proactive team, right? We shouldn't be prime Barcelona, but we should, like, in my opinion, when we were on top right after we scored the goal, we just looked like, we are gonna again kind of, settle in a mid block, soak up pressure, and kind of hit you on the counter. I just wanted, our team to basically put Bayern to the sword, just like you felt, we couldn't create as many clear-cut chances as you guys did. But I thought our entire setup was a bit negative. But I think the second leg at home, ball game. But coming on to you, Mo, let's talk about Chouameni. Brilliant tonight. Had to move in back to centre back as well after the substitution of Nacho. But, like, how incredible has his season been? And the stat continues. Whenever he starts a game for us, we never seem to lose.
Yeah, man, I think we were discussing this in the chat, right? I think Jacob was the one who was saying that he was incredible in putting out fires in front of the box. And I think going to this game, we were talking about, previewing this game in Liam's channel yesterday. I kind of felt like we needed that midfielder, I said that if we had Militao, we could have had Chouameni cover that space, that space between the lines, where I felt Bayern were going to be difficult for us to, challenge, because they have these guys like Sané, Musiala, Muller, Gnabry, all these guys who are making those movements and occupying those zones around the box. So we definitely needed a midfielder there. I can't understand why Ancelotti decided to go with Chouameni at CDM, because for me personally, like I said at the top of the show, that I wanted Chouameni to start at centre back from the beginning, because we definitely struggled getting the ball up. But Chouameni definitely showed what he can do at CDM as well. I mean, that's his natural position, I guess, now. So obviously he's gonna be his best there, and today he totally delivered. But even then, I think Ancelotti had to adjust, like I said, in the first half, and play him a little bit deeper to help out to get the ball out of the back, and he did that job as well. So he was good defensively. He was good in progressing the ball, and once Nacho went off, he was good again playing as center back, because at that time we were really pushing for a goal. Because I at the start of the game, like I said yesterday, I would have felt that 2-1 would have been a good score for us. Losing 2-1 at Bayern, getting that one away goal, even though it doesn't matter, but just having that one goal cushion, even letting Bayern have that one goal cushion, and then facing them at the Bernabeu, it would have been too bad for me. But given how the game went, I mean, Liam is totally right when he says that first 15 minutes Bayern dominated. Especially we had a lot of trouble, dealing with how their exchanges around the box were going. They were making runs into the box, and they were opening us up around it. So the fact that we got from there, we got that goal with Cruz. After that, I kind of felt like we had total control of the game. So to go from there in the first half to the second half, where we conceded one goal, that I kind of felt was like individual brilliance from Leroy Sané. And that was kind of what we were talking about yesterday as well. Players having that quality to make it happen, even if they're out of form. So Sané totally showed his class, and he scored that goal. And then I kind of felt that we panicked a little. So and then we gave up with the penalty. So from 2-1 down, I kind of felt like it would have been disappointment for us, given how the game panned out, like in the first half. So we kind of had to push for a result. We got that result, and Tchouaméni again delivered in the centre back position. So like you said, man, Tchouaméni, his undefeated streak at Real Madrid this season continues.
100%. He is such a man mountain when it comes to. Look, I've always had this notion that when things don't really go well, it's sometimes a lack of desire, because in our ranks, seldom does it happen that we lack quality or we lack players who can make the difference. But this season, I think Tchouaméni, Rudiger, of course, even Camavinga when he plays, these guys doesn't really have any second thoughts putting their bodies on the line. Absolutely anywhere on the pitch, they just throw themselves in front of a shot, front of a corner, front of set pieces. It just goes to show that like these guys are putting everything out there on the pitch, especially defensively, and it's paying dividends. And Tchouaméni, especially like in the first half, I remember like at least 3 or 4 instances where he was stepping in with crucial blocks, crucial interceptions. Man is just getting stronger week in, week out, basically getting an understanding about how he can help the team from center back and from midfield. But switching over to the Bayern side, Liam, Konrad Laimer, right? Bayern fans weren't too keen on him. Like, I know the general consensus is that he's an okayish player, but I felt like in the first half, especially, he had a brilliant game. He gave us a lot to think about.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I feel like our lesser players, if you want to say, were the better players today. Konrad Laimer was running that midfield. And I still can't really understand why he took Goretzka off. But I'm glad he did take Goretzka off, because then he brought on Rafael Guerreiro, who gives something different in that midfield.
He changed the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%, I agree. And like I said, the lesser players did it. And yeah, Konrad Laimer was brilliant. It's just really annoying, like why. And obviously, I know that you want to just mainly talk about the Real Madrid game, obviously, to be in the Madrid channel and everything. But
no. It's gonna be and then all inclusive, breakdown.
Yeah, no. So. 100%. But like, why can we not do this on a week-to-week basis? In the league, we've been butt cheeks in the league. We generally have. We've been trash.
Liam, I'm going to ask you this, right, about Konrad Laimer. You're saying that he was good on the ball and everything, but when you guys had the ball out, especially after a first goal, you were so slow in progressing the ball further. You didn't really have any pace. So I mean, Konrad Laimer had a lot of ball because Real Madrid allowed him to have a lot of the ball. He didn't have it because Bayern were completely dominating the midfield. It was just because Real Madrid were letting him have the ball, because they decided that him having the ball wasn't threat enough to them. So, is that something you want to have in at Bayern week in, week out?
I can see it from that perspective, 100%. You know, and there's obviously a reason why we say the lesser players. You know, you guys are bloody. I don't even know what the word is like. It's not honoured, but like the midfield you've got is disgusting. You know, I was saying on my stream, Luka Modric, I called him Master Splinter. The guy is a genius, an absolute genius. You know, he can run around that pit straight away with that ball over the top. As soon as you come on, the ball straight over. Yeah, just straight over. And same with Cruz. Like, these are two older players. You know what I mean? And they're just stinking up the place. And it's like, I can 100% see where you're coming from, without a doubt. I think he was really, really good in the game. And when you guys scored, Tuchel was going absolutely mental, like throwing his arms around and everything. Because he wanted us to press, and we were not pressing. It was generally like the lump in the back of your throat. It's like a big gulp. It's like, oh, now what? And our players just did not want to press. So, no, I do agree with you in that sense. He should not be playing for Bayern.
Like, I've seen it in the faces of so many opponents. You know, like they'll be dominating a large phase of the game, and then boom, Madrid basically, you know, score on the counter, and then they just take a while to recover. Just as I think, you know, I think it just comes with the territory. You know, it is something that teams don't expect. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, well, I agree with you. You know, when you got that goal, and I said it to you guys yesterday, I said we have to be a 10 out of 10. No one can put a foot wrong, because I know how fast Vinny is. I know how fast Rodrigo is. And you know, Vinny went and done the business. He did annoy me though. I won't lie. You guys will love him for it, but he did annoy me. Same with Ronaldo doing all of this. When he's like lifting his shirt up and that I won't lie. I kind of lost the plot. But I get it. You know what I mean? He is brilliant. He is brilliant without a doubt. And I just wish our wingers were as clinical as he is, because we would be having some bad boy players.
You know, Liam, I think you had a lot of opportunities, but you know, when you look at the quality of the chances, they weren't really that great. So I don't know. I kind of feel you're being a little bit too harsh on your wingers, because I think on the balance of the play it was a fair result. 2-2, because we had phases where we dominated and you had phases where you dominated. So to end it even, to me, looked like a fair result. And then you also have to give credit to how well Leroy Sané played, you know, despite the fact that he was coming off this injury, and I think he's only played like 2 games in the quarterfinals before this. So to come from there and to have this game, I thought it was like incredible.
I guess I could see it from your perspective. Obviously, you're coming from an outside perspective. I think the thing with Leroy Sané for me is it's just his decision making at times. You know, like when he, you know, not necessarily this game, but just the whole season. And all I ever hear is on social media and everything, because I don't like him, is look at his GA, and it's like your GA don't win you anything. You know, you can have goals and assists all you want, but if you don't win anything, what do they mean? You know, but I do get where you're coming from, though, 100%.
But that goal was a Tanta punt.
Yeah,
Liam, that was just hit with such venom that, like in my opinion, Looney should have done better. But
yeah,
I don't think there's much.
The only way Looney could have done better was if he was the Flash. The pace on the ball, he didn't really give him any reaction time. So I don't think, you know, it's fair to say he could have done better.
Do you think Courtois does better there?
Just no. Thibaut is incredibly suspect in near post. But like I get it. Like I wasn't going off.
I would go so far as to say that even if Neuer was there, he wouldn't have saved that one.
No, I get it. Like I wasn't really, you know, bashing
he asked after the goal. Would Courtois have saved it? That's what I'm answering.
Okay. But the very fact that keepers get beaten at the near post is something that will never sit right with me. But brilliant finish. You can't take anything away from Sané's finish. I didn't expect that. No chance.
No, I agree. It's just very annoying that Eric Dyer didn't score.
Oh yeah, the man set pieces, bro.
He literally said to me on my stream yesterday, "Watch the set pieces." I'm like, bro, you ain't gonna see no set pieces because Kimmich is crap at delivery. Puts in the cross. Eric Dyer hits it straight at the keeper.
I think they actually had 2 chances to score, right, from set pieces. Both kind of fell to Eric Dyer. I remember, if I'm not wrong.
The other fell to was a deflection. Muller tried to get on the end of it or something. Yeah. Rudiger.
And then obviously Harry Kane had the free kick, which was terrible.
Man, set pieces. I'm basically closing my eyes because I can't watch my team
For me,
handle them.
what I felt was the fact that Real Madrid had trouble dealing with in-swingers, especially Lunin. When the ball is near the goal, he doesn't really know what to do. So Real Madrid focused too much on that, and he kind of left the outswingers, us defending outswingers poorly. So Bayern took full advantage of it. And the thing, to Bayern's credit, this is what happens when you play an experienced side in Europe. They knew how to mix it up. They weren't just going for one angle. They kind of mixed up everything. Even at the beginning, they played it short, and then they had this ball into Kimmich coming into the box, where Valverde really made a last-minute challenge to help us escape. Otherwise, that could have been a really dangerous opportunity for Bayern as well. So you have to, for me personally, I give Bayern a lot of credit for the way they handled their set pieces. Not just sticking to one thing, trying a lot of different things and kind of mixing it up. So they kept Real Madrid guessing, and I guess this is a mark of a side that has a lot of European experience.
Yeah, no, I can't agree anymore. I think it. Obviously, you guys or the media has said that Vinny is man of the match because obviously both the goals gets the draw, blah blah blah. Was he your man of the match? Because for me, I thought Toni Kroos was ripping the whole game up.
For me personally, I would go with Vinicius.
You went
Yeah.
I can see why, because obviously he got the 2 goals.
Even this, ignoring the goals. Okay, fine. I can't ignore the goals when you're talking about Vinicius' performance today.
Yeah.
But yeah, Toni Kroos, he gave that brilliant assist and he controlled the game. But without Vinicius, that isn't really leading to anywhere. And the second goal came when Toni Kroos wasn't there, and it was all due to the good combination with Vinicius and Rodrigo. So everything that we did well today, Vinicius was involved in it, especially offensively. So for me, he had that is what shaded over Toni Kroos for me, for Vinicius.
Yeah, Madrid TV is mentioning for him, it's Toni Kroos, clear man of the match. He dictated the whole game. I'll be honest, Vinicius, deservedly gets the plaudits because the 2 goals was the difference between life and death. Because if it's a 2-0 lead back to the Bernabeu, I'll be confident. We'll be all confident that we can overturn it at our base, but it's a massive 90 minutes to basically crawl job back a deficit that would define our season isn't exactly something that we would be looking forward to. So Vinny kind of prevented that from happening. But I'll be honest, my man of the match, if you put aside Vinicius, was definitely Chouameni, because man was battling 3-4 guys sometimes all by himself to get the ball and dig us out of a hole. Chouameni for me at least. But let me get to a few other comments and then we can go to the ad break more. Strasbourg Steve says, "What's good, guys? Big up yourself, Steve. Hope you had a good evening." Madrid TV was mentioning, don't get the stick at Bellingham lately. He's not playing at his real position. Why play him as a striker or a false nine? That's not his position. Well, that has been something that has been paying out a lot, bro. So I think there is enough evidence for Carlo to basically deploy him in there, and he is a very good decoy for us, especially he just plugs so many gaping holes in both midfield and in attack.
And I think
when
even
he's
today,
on
Bellingham made a lot of good runs into the box. The only thing is Lucas Vazquez wasn't able to deliver the balls. Because Lucas Vazquez, I kind of felt like he struggled a little bit today. I'm sure we're gonna talk about him later, but I kind of was disappointed with Lucas. But then the thing is, that is what you expect from your second choice right back. He's not your first choice. There's gonna be a difference between when Carvajal is playing and when Lucas Vazquez is playing. So kind of disappointed. And Jude could have done better, but I think the tactics kind of hindered him a little. And then also the fact that Lucas Vazquez just didn't play in the passes that got him to the right position at the right time.
Jude looked the most threatening when he was almost breaking away through in on goal. I don't know who fouled him. Was it Dyer? Was it Mazraoui? I'm not sure. Mazraoui, yeah. It was a very dangerous break on, and if he gets that wrong, it would have been curtains for Bayern. But I think Jude showed promise, a lot of promise. He had far worse games, far quieter games, by his lofty standards this season. This wasn't really one of them. Alex C, big up Alex. He was mentioning just discovered the show. Thank you guys for the analysis of Madrid. Big up to Liam. Nice to have other fans on the show. Subscribed. Big up yourself, man. Big up. Madrid TV was mentioning. Oh yeah, we read out his chat. Tony Kroos was his man of the match. But yeah, more. I guess it's time for the ad break. Big up Manscaped every single time.
This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions, Manscaped. And this season we partnered up with them to make sure everyone's grass is cut up to standard, because Xavi has been complaining and it's been annoying our secretary. So join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this special offer. Go to manscaped.com, use code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at checkout. So introducing this season's MVP is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It's a trimmer with two blade heads, one to just take, a little off the top, or the foil blade basically to go super smooth, and you can use this in the shower. It has two bright LED spotlights, so there's no accidents in the shower, and yeah, it's waterproof, it's easy to clean. You can put this in your travel bag, in your drawer. So to get the full grooming experience, you should get the Beard Hedger Pro Kit and the Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Basically, you get extra parts to really create your signature look and clean up your neckline. So use code LBR20 at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping. That's LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. And thank you for watching. Back to the video.
Big up Doris, big up Manscaped. LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. Go check them out, people. The pinned comment is in the live chat, and the link is also in the description below. Right. The first half was typical Madrid, right? Bayern had 6 shots, 2 on target. We had a single shot, and we scored with that single shot on goal. Was basically what was the recipe for the season, I believe, because we are just super clinical on big occasions like this. But Liam, talk to me. Guerrero came on, right? Some people would argue Guerrero should have started, because I watched the game at the weekend. Although he could have done better, maybe score that goal against who was it? Kevin Trapp. It was right at the goal mouth that he got the chance. He kind of fluffed it, but. Yeah. Guerrero was a constant, consistent threat throughout the game. Very surprised that he was completely out of the equation tonight.
I'm kind of like a 50-50 on it, if I'm honest. Like, I think at parts of that game you do need Leon Goretzka's, I don't know if you want to say toughness, but like strength in the game. Because I don't think Conrad Lima nor Guerrero offer that particular part of the game, if that makes any sense. But yeah, when Guerrero come on the pitch, it was a different game. I was like, what are you doing? Because when I seen him come off, I was like, is he putting Guerrero on the wing? I didn't realize he was going to put.
Because that's what I expected him to do, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he play on the wing at the weekend?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I was coming from as well. It's like, wait, who's he taking off? Because I thought he took off Sane.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
I was glad. We took Sane off. Well, not really, because he wouldn't have got the goal. But take him off because he was terrible in the first half. But then, when I seen it was Goretzka, I was like, huh? But then obviously it was a straight swap. I was actually really surprised. I know we're talking about Guerrero, and he did fantastic. I agree with you. Why Pavlovic didn't play in that game at all? I don't know if he just didn't want to throw him to Wolves or not. But yeah, that's a bit of a confusing one for me. But on Guerrero, yeah, he was brilliant. And I find it funny because this guy's a left back. Realistically, he's been playing. He was playing for Dortmund. He has played for Bayern this season as all different positions because Bayern have been terrible and injuries and all of that.
He's a Swiss Army knife for so many years now.
Yeah, 100%.
He just can do so many roles effectively. Guerrero has a wicked shot on him. Is decent from set pieces. Guerrero is someone that I always respected throughout the years. Right, Mo. I think it's time we address the Vasquez situation. We always knew that, whether he faces Musiala, whether he faces Nabri, whether he faces Sane, it was always going to be defensively a very demanding game for Vasquez, who is not really a defender. But this game, especially Musiala, in the second half was, just knocking it past him like he wasn't even there.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to you guys talk about like how the introduction of Rafa Guerrero kind of changed the game, but for me, I think it was the switch between Musiala and Leroy Sané that kind of changed the game, because Musiala continually drove at Lucas Vazquez and pushed him back, and Fede Valverde like wasn't able to compensate so much for, because the thing is like in games like this there's only going to be one mistake and the whole thing is going to change. For Real Madrid on this end, there was one brilliant move by Leroy Sané, to get into the half space, avoid Mendy and score. He got that one chance, that one clear opportunity, and he took it. And then on the other side, I think Musiala one run directly at Lucas Vazquez, and him panicking because he had just conceded. And this is something that is very uncharacteristic of this current Real Madrid. But then you understand, this maybe there was a little bit of lack of experience, because they were missing the likes of Carvajal, who really know how to handle situations like these. And Lucas Vazquez completely panics and gives away the penalty. I mean, there are some people who are arguing that it wasn't a penalty, but it was a clear penalty. And I mean, he made a clear error over there. So with Lucas Vazquez, I think we talked about him yesterday at Liam's show and everything, and we said we are gonna miss Carvajal big time. And once Musiala started driving at him, we kind of found out what Lucas Vazquez misses. When he's playing at the right back position, he's not that great defensively. In the league, I mean, it's fine. I was kind of surprised that he had a brilliant game against Barcelona at the Clasico.
100%.
But 100%. When it comes to these games, when it comes to these nights, you need players of certain quality, and I think Carvajal is that player of quality. And Lucas Vazquez, I mean, he's a good backup, but especially at right back, because it's not just a natural position. He's a right midfielder by trade, so we can always see that he's good going forward. But then even then, that wasn't there today, especially with the weight on the balls and everything. I think the occasion got to him, and he wasn't his natural self. And towards the end, he had to pull off a professional foul, if I may say so, on Alphonso Davies to get the yellow card and stop that breakaway. So altogether, I think he was probably one of our weaker players.
I've got to say as well, just to get in there, you said about Alphonso Davies, that foul on Alphonso Davies. You think I was a Madrid fan. I love that foul, man. Just to show him, bro, it's like, there's levels to this, yeah? You want to come to this club. You know what I mean? There's levels to this. You got a lot to learn, boy. And he just get out of the way. Grabbed him by
Little Brodem, yeah?
Yeah, little Brodem, exactly. And then you knew he did it as well. You knew it was a tactical foul because the referee's holding up a yellow and he's just there like this, so... Yeah.
Thumbs up, mate.
100%.
Yeah. Like I get, circumstances weren't exactly ideal, but Vasquez, I think, even though he had a mare, even though he gave away a goal, I would like to commend him just to kind of balance things out. That he held his own to a certain extent. He didn't lose his head completely. He kind of soldiered on. I've seen so many players, but we're talking about Vasquez, right? He is someone that has showcased immense mentality, but I would like to give him, a bit of credit for, hanging in there and, not let the hard times really get to him throughout the 90, because, Musiala, like we saw even in the first half, it wasn't as effective as when, they were switched, like what Mo was alluding to, but Musiala was really taking on the mantle, driving at players left, right, and center, and was very effective with it. Talking about Musiala, Liam, very impressed.
First half, no, but I kind of see from both your perspectives. Obviously, you're not Bayern fans. You're seeing it from the outside perspective. I think, obviously, you talking about Vasquez. In that perspective, it's like maybe Tuchel did that on purpose, because you've seen straight away Leroy Sané went through on that side, on the right back. Right back. So maybe that's why he didn't want to play Musiala there the whole time. Because maybe he was thinking like maybe Ancelotti would see it and try to say to his lads, like, you need to be on this side, But yeah, Musiala cooked. He cooked as soon as he went on his natural side. I wanted him in the 10, but when Thomas Müller plays, Thomas Müller has to play in the 10. So putting him out on the left wing, I was for. But yeah, man, he did his job. He got the penalty. And at the end of the day, that's what he does. He causes havoc. He really, really does. He's a little gem. He really, really is. I would generally sell an arm and a leg to keep him, because all of the big teams are going to come for him. They will. And I just hope the fact that Bayern give him his chance. Obviously, we got him for 200k from Chelsea, made him into the star that he is. He will stay with us. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant in this game. I'm hoping that he can do better, or have that same impact in the second half, in the second leg. Obviously, it's going to be a massive leg in the fact that we are playing at your stadium. It's going to be. I hope he doesn't, drop the ball, if you want to say, because playing in front of those fans is going to be difficult. But yeah, this game, I thought he was brilliant. In the second half, I would have liked for him to play where he did play in the second half in the first, but maybe there's some tactical things that I don't really understand there, and then Tuchel does.
100%. Ashik was mentioning Vasquez was put in a tough position, and it showed. Musiala was going to win the one-on-one with Vasquez, but overall the defense covered well against a potent attack of Bayern, and both pens are legit, 100%. Like, I don't know what brain dead fans think the Vasquez pen wasn't a pen. If that ain't a pen, the pen that he won himself against Barcelona isn't a pen, right? I mean, it's stone cold penalties, both of them.
Yeah.
Strasbourg, Steve was mentioning, hit the likes, people. Yeah, you heard the man, smash up the likes. Ashi was also mentioning Carvajal will get bet by Musiala if he tries to go toe-to-toe with him. But Danny reads the position better than Vasquez, which is natural since Vasquez isn't a natural right back.
I think if I can answer this one, the thing about Carvajal and Vasquez debate isn't the fact that who is a better one-on-one defender. It's about, like Ashik said, it's about who reads the position, who reads the circumstances better. And Carvajal, whenever he's going against a pacey winger, it's not just about stopping them or keeping up with them with their pace. It's more about reading how to cut off the passing lanes, how to guide them into areas where they aren't really as influential as they could be if they're allowed to. If you just stand up to them, they're going to get past you, and then they're into free space, free to do whatever they want. Carvajal in these situations knows what to do. If you think back to the game against PSG, in 21-22, the goal comes after Carvajal is taken off and Lucas Vasquez is defending against Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe completely goes past him, and why does it happen? It's because Lucas Vasquez is trying to stop him. Danny Carvajal doesn't always try to stop his man. What he does is he guides his man. And even against Manchester City at the Etihad against Jeremy Doku, I mean, everybody kept saying, "Oh man, Carvajal got skinned, Carvajal got this happened, Carvajal that happened." But what did Jeremy Doku actually do? Because Carvajal,
he defends the space so well.
Yeah, Carvajal reads the situation and knows how to deal with it, and that is something that you need at this stage of Champions League. And you need that experience. And I think definitely Real Madrid missed Danny Carvajal today when we face against Bayern at the Bernabeu. Musiala is probably going to play in this position again. He's probably going to drive at Carvajal, and Carvajal maybe one or twice he might get past him, but on the other occasions Carvajal is going to marshal him, guide him into areas where he thinks that he's not going to have as much of an impact as he did today, especially winning that penalty. So for me, that is the difference between Carvajal and Vasquez, and I hope Carvajal is back and nothing happens between now and the game that is at the Bernabeu next Wednesday.
We have a home game against Cadiz, which should be straightforward. I would personally, put on Vasquez again and bring on Carvajal for the last 20 minutes or so, just to give him a run out and keep him fresh. But moving on to our pen that we kind of tried to nick off Bayern. Some people would say we absolutely scammed Bayern into a position that they really thought they wouldn't be in. There were warning signs, Liam, right? There were warning signs, especially with the introduction of Modric and Camavinga. Although he was struggling to kind of get accustomed to the pace of the game, he, I think, also was a huge factor in that chance being being unfolded in the first place. But like, were you unhappy in the way that Bayern dealt with that situation? Because Vinicius and Rodrigo basically manufactures it out of nothing.
Yeah, it's like the whole when you think of this game before this game happened, you're like, okay, is Kimmich going to be able to stop Vinicius Jr.? But now, after the game has happened, there was no Kimmich. Kimmich wasn't in this situation. It was target Kim and Jay, and it showed again that Tuchel needs to play this player. If he is going to play the second leg, he needs to play in this next game. I can't think off the top of my head who we got on the weekend. But he needs to play that game, and then he needs to go into the other game. I can't have Upamecano coming in. You can't have other players coming in. And, you know, Madrid were always going to find a way to win. You know, they're always going to find a way to win. You guys always have that, you know, that those moments, you know, always going to have those moments. But the problem with it was like, with the penalty, like, if he doesn't have his arm there, I know it sounds stupid, because where else is his arm going to be? But if he doesn't have his arm there, I'm kind of saying it's a bit of an iffy one. It's a bit of an iffy one.
The referee would have more to think about, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he would have more to think about. And it's like, is it a penalty? He's tried to go in with his foot, so on and so forth. But he's hugging him, man. He may as well just hug him. You know what I mean? Pick him up, give him a big cuddle. Because, you know, realistically, you may as well just pick him up and choke slam him. Because he's like, there's no, you're not getting away with that. Not in this modern game with all these, you know, VAR and cameras and all of this stuff. You're not getting away with that. So, you know, maybe back in the day, you know, if the referee wasn't necessarily right there, you could get away from it. But in this day and age, you can't get away with things like that. And it's just typical that it was Kim Min-jae again. You know, Eric Dyer seems to be the best Bayern Munich centre-back at the moment. You know, that in itself is ridiculous. We've had Beckenbauer at this club, you know. Franz Beckenbauer, and our best centre-back right this minute is Eric Dyer. Just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
He had a decent game. Very decent game. Very decent game. I expected him to be the guy who would be, you know.
If I may say something, I kind of felt like Kim Min-jae, apart from the two mistakes, was kind of like, he was decent because.
But the two mistakes was
I'm going to come to those mistakes as well. I'm going to come to those mistakes.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, because I felt that apart from that, whenever he never let Vinicius or Rodrigo beat him for pace. He was always there because I kind of felt like, you know, with him lacking sharpness, he's probably going to be rusty, get turned around easily and everything. But like that didn't happen. For the first goal, for the first mistake, I think he kind of got too tight, but I kind of felt that you know, his covering defenders should have actually done better closing down that space.
Yeah.
But that never happened because once Kim Min-jae makes that move forward, it is the onus falls onto your other remaining defenders, especially the other center back, to cover the space for a player for the run that is coming. And I think Vinicius, as we know, is brilliant in getting away from his marker. So I give equal credit for, you know, to Vinicius as I might.
So you're basically expecting a Fiat to catch a Ferrari, yeah?
Yeah,
Dyer.
What I'm saying is like defense has to be a team effort, right? So once Kim Min-jae steps out, his covering defender has to cover it up, and I think these are situations where, you know, when players like Eric Dyer kind of aren't able to do that because, like you said, he has a level. He's been brilliant for Bayern, like most Bayern fans would say. But then, you know, these are situations where they get caught out, where they don't do enough. Maybe if instead of Eric Dyer, there was Matthias de Ligt, they were there, he does better in covering that space. Maybe. I'm not saying it's 100% going to happen.
You do have a point. But Liam, my thing is... Go on. Finish your point.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the second goal, so maybe if you want to talk about the first goal, it's okay.
Can I quickly just jump in on that?
Yeah, go on.
That. So I 100% agree with what you're saying. You know, the fact that it was Kim Min-jae that went out of position. If that was Eric Dyer, we might have seen, you know, Vinny get caught up. You know, Vinny's ridiculously fast, obviously, but like Kim Min-jae's not as slow as Eric Dyer. As soon as Vinny goes straight through, I knew it was going to be a goal, or it would have been a corner if Neuer could have made the save. You know, you're not like you said, it's like a Fiat trying to catch a Ferrari. It's not going to happen. You know, you've got a Frig trying to run at you. It's not going to happen. And I do agree with you in the fact of like Kim Min-jae had a solid game. I've literally got it on my notes that I was writing down. I literally, you know, some things about Sane we don't need to talk about. And then it's 16 minutes in, Kim looks fantastic. And then the next one after that is Kim out of position, Vinny 1-0. So like he had a fantastic first 16 minutes, and then one mistake and bosh, it cost you. So yeah.
But Mo does have a point. Like over the top balls, like he dealt with it pretty well, right, Mo?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like both of them kind of were dealing with the in balls well. I mean, I kind of have to also wonder how much of it was down to the fact that Lucas Vazquez wasn't really putting proper weight on his crosses and everything. So that might have been an issue. But overall, I wasn't really feeling, oh man, these guys are like distinctly average, or these guys are rubbish. I wasn't getting that vibe from the way Bayern were playing. And even for the second goal, what I felt was like, I mean, definitely Kim Min-jae is at fault for how how he gives away that penalty, because like you said, in this day and age you cannot be making tackles like that. But then you also have to give credit to the fact that Vinicius and Rodrigo, they combined, they made that combination happen. And we've talked so much about this in this podcast, right, earlier as well.
Yeah.
Real Madrid are completely focused on moving towards a more combination style of play. They want to make those combinations happen around the box, and I think Bayern were doing that pretty well in the first half, like, especially in the first 15-16 minutes when all of their front four attackers were combining really well. So I think in this situation, as much as it was down to Kim Min-jae giving away a bad penalty, we also have to give credit to the fact that Vinicius and Rodrigo manufactured. They make it happen, like you said. So that when you were talking about the second goal, so I don't know. Like for me, I kind of get the criticism towards Kim Min-jae, but then I also think that there were mitigating factors towards it. So I just feel like I wouldn't be too harsh on him. And then you can put it in the background of the fact that he hasn't played for so long, and he comes in because he realized just one day before that, Matthias de Ligt is going to be injured.
My whole issue with Kim Min-jae was basically he's getting too tight. Like, he would have watched hours of footage of people trying to get tight to Winnie.
On the first goal he was, but then
Kyle Walker got tight, and he was left in a dust. I mean, that just says it all.
The thing is, like, once you are defending a player like Vinicius who's making those runs away from you, if you give him the freedom deeper, he's going to make something happen. Like that happened with the second goal, right? Because he had the freedom.
I get it. It's a double-edged sword, basically.
So I think the thing is, like, defending players like Vinicius is a team effort. So the whole backline of Bayern has to, work as a unit to defend against situations like these. And I think that didn't happen for Bayern today, especially on those two goals.
Yeah, I agree with you 110%. What you're saying on, obviously from my perspective, it was Kim Min-jae's fault. But I agree with you in the fact that, if Vinny and Rodrigo don't work in that space, they don't even get that chance. And you've seen as soon as he give away the penalty and he's putting his arm around him, giving him a big cuddle, when the referee has called for the penalty, you've seen what it meant to Rodrigo. Man, celebrating getting the penalty, and at the end of the day, again, you can't go and do that. Again, brilliant from that perspective of them going to get that penalty, but you can't go and do that in that game. And I agree with you in the fact that we can't just fully blame Kim Min-jae, because Kim Min-jae was solid. He was actually solid. If you take away those mistakes, obviously those mistakes led to the 2 goals for you guys to get the 2 goals. But like, he was solid. He was solid. But it's going to come down to those fine margins of you make those 2 mistakes, you cost those 2 goals. And there's always going to be those idiots that are going to just go after these players anyway. But yeah, I do agree with you in that sense.
Yeah, 100%, Liam. Like, credit where credit is due. Like, Bayern came up with a plan, and we did come up with a plan, which was kind of to, play a game that would give us a platform to basically, start over at the Bernabeu. We weren't really forcing the issue, and I believe if we were a lot more proactive, this Bayern defense isn't that great. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I have immense respect for like Bayern as a club, and how much they have soldiered on throughout the season, despite so many on the pitch issues. They're in the semi-finals for a reason. But I was of the same sentiment as you, Liam, that we could have done so much more to basically force the issue. Let me get to a few other comments before we delve into stuff further. Right. Ashik was mentioning more exactly jockey the player and allow your defensive partners and rest of the team to compose and take away passing lanes and penetrating runs. He agrees with you. Ashik was also saying the pass by Vinicius that led to the situation that cost the pen was made in a Porsche factory in Stuttgart. If only Stuttgart could produce something like that today. Ashik was asking, anyone want to give a shout out to the ref? Brilliant officiating.
Yeah, 100%.
I think this is the first time you've dropped points when he's refereeing a game, Clement Turpin, because I think every time he's refereed a game, Bayern have always won. It was the first time they got a draw.
Interesting.
I'll never forget his death stare. Like I don't always remember his name, but he reminds me of the Brazilian referee from back in the day, the bald guy. I forgot his name. Was it something?
Colina?
The scary guy.
Yeah.
Colina was Italian.
He was Italian, yeah?
Yeah.
My bad. Italian. Right, yeah. He reminds me of him. I don't know why. Ashik was mentioning, let's hope Upamecano is back next leg. I don't think he's going to be, Some people argue that he is probably the best centre-back Bayern has, but his big game moments that I've come across is shocking. Michel...
have you seen the
go on.
Upa Maguire video? I don't know.
I haven't seen the compilation. If there's
No,
a wicked
Upa
compilation...
Maguire video. Upa Maguire video.
Okay. Send it our way. I haven't seen
As
it.
soon as you read that comment out, I knew you were going to go to the other Maguire, man. Ah, leave it alone, please.
Let's not pile on someone who didn't even touch the pitch. So, yeah. Pamecano's there's a decent player in there. I'm not sure
Yes.
what's really.
I had high hopes for him when he was Leipzig, and I remember Real Madrid were like very much linked with him. They were scouting him a lot, but for some reason they didn't go for him, and Bayern did, and he went to Bayern. And the rest is history.
Yeah. And I think I just to quickly add on to that, I think with a different manager, he's a great player. With you look what he does for
In
France.
a different setup, yeah.
Without a doubt. For Julian Nagelsmann, he wasn't as bad. The only, you're going to talk about the Open Maguire with the Man City situation. You give him to Thomas Tuchel, he's had about 6 of those. He had 2 red cards in 2 games. One in the league and one in the Champions League. So it's like different system. I think he'll be a good player, and I think that's why the French manager Deschamps, or however you say his name, picks him all the time. Like even over Saliba, which is mind blowing. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah. Surprising. Not gonna lie. But I think it's bound to change this summer. 100%.
I don't think Saliba's performances for France have been that good. So for me,
For France, he is a completely different.
Yeah,
package.
Deschamps. I think Deschamps. He's very loyal to his players, as we've seen before. So for me, I think he's going to stick with Upamecano. And like you said, like Liam said, when he was at Leipzig, he was very brilliant. There was a reason why Bayern signed him. And even at Bayern, like when you look at him, there's a player there because he's so good on the ball and everything he does is good. But then he had these moments which kind of tarnish his name.
Are terrible. They're not even good. They're not even bad.
Yeah.
Like, bad, man. No, they are terrible.
Yeah. They're absolutely Maguire level stuff. Maguire has been pretty solid this season, at least. He has been decent.
Right.
Fair play to him. Michel Zakaria, big up Michel, he was mentioning Real Madrid played like cowards against a crap Bayern side. Love Jude, but he ghosted today. No, did he? Well, I'll be honest. We could have done better, but I've seen our team set up this way.
Man, this
God
was
knows how
an
long.
away like in the Champions League semi-finals, like it's one of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah.
And whatever form they're in, Bundesliga doesn't matter.
100%.
They have some really brilliant players that any team in the world would die for. So to say that Real Madrid played like cowards, no man, Real Madrid didn't play like cowards. Real Madrid played intelligently. They knew how to approach the team and they did the right thing.
100%.
I don't think Bellingham had that much of a bad game. I think because he didn't have a couple of chances on goal and he wasn't the star man, it will look like he. And I'm his biggest hater. Don't worry. He was a Borussia Dortmund player. Remember, people. Yeah. I can't stand them. So but because he doesn't do that moment and he's lifting his arms up and all of that, people say he's had a bad game. I didn't think he had that much of a bad game. I think defensively he was actually really good, to be honest with you. And obviously you mentioned that chance that obviously we just tackled him, to stop him. So I wouldn't say he had that much of a bad game personally, but that's coming from a Bayern fan.
100%. Like I alluding to Michel's comment that we kind of play a bit cowardly. I think of that sometimes. Like Mo has a very valid point, which is kind of the reasoning behind Carlo's decisions to kind of set up shop a bit defensively, especially in big away games. I get it, but when I see the game unfold and there is a real chance for a team to be got at,
I think we also have to consider the
kind
fact that Ancelotti is making use of pieces that are given to him. It isn't like he's picking these pieces. In some moments, they aren't even complementary pieces. He's making them work. So he's trying to figure out a system that works for everybody and gets the best out of everyone. So everybody wants to play like fast flow, free flowing, champagne football, maybe like Manchester City or whatever. But it's not going to happen, especially with the way our club is run. And some things are going to be sacrificed especially when
We're talking about yeah. Like I've explained this many a times. I'm super tired. Like I don't know why people think that I want champagne.
No, I wasn't actually directing it towards you. I was actually directing towards the comment. I'm not sure why.
Okay. Fair. No, because I just expect us to be, taking our chances a bit more, especially on the break. But yeah, where people can say what they want, man, we are here for a reason, right? I just want the result. Like I'm not someone who is particularly keen on, glazing on about how we performed on a particular night. But Alex was mentioning professional footballers are still professional footballers, no matter what people say about them. Who is he alluding to?
He's talking about
Upamecano.
Or Mancano, yeah, both of those. Because I'm guaranteeing Kim and Jae's going to get ridiculous hate tonight. Because there's just idiot fans out there. This social media age is beautiful because it brings like people like us together. We would never come together otherwise. That in that sense is amazing. But at the same sense, you just get idiots out there that's going to abuse him racially and all of that. It's just stupid. Dumb.
Big up heavy metal hippie. I don't know why the message
That
was
a sick name.
retracted, but yeah, that's a sick name. Pick up yourself. Ashi was mentioning Upamecano is usually solid, but he has a tendency to make at least one mistake in every match, which leads to giving up goals. 100%.
Especially under Tuchel.
Yeah. Big up Zier. He's in the chat. He was mentioning what's popping, guys. GG Sunaid and more. Yeah. I told you, bro. It wasn't gonna be a thrashing. It wasn't anywhere close to a thrashing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. And the next week we're gonna talk again. Yeah. Hopefully you can join Liam and we can do a little preview.
I might have sunglasses after that match reaction.
Like, I don't know why it's so doom and gloom. I mean, you guys will have a fair shot at the Bernabeu, although, I'm pretty confident that we get the job done. But it's gonna be nervous for both sides, no matter what happens. Liam, you can't take anything away from the fact that both teams would want to win, and Bayern would be underdogs,
Yes.
in the equation, and I think that would give them a sense of freeness, a sense of the weight off their shoulders to kind of express themselves. I think at the Bernabeu, which is I think gonna play into your hands. Who knows, right? The psyche, especially in big games like this, is super interesting. Right.
I really hope you're right, by the way.
I hope I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Less of that. I'm just trying to be honorable, right? Like, have you played Red Dead Redemption when Arthur is trying to be honorable?
Mate, don't worry about being honourable, right? coming up against Real Madrid is fine, okay? Arsenal, don't. Like, that was just a different breed. Pray for Bayern like we are, like this trash, never won the Champions League like them team ever. Like, so
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I respect it.
Big up. Mitchell was mentioning Kim played.
Man, this guy's a troll. You don't need to read his comments. You just ignore them.
Oh yeah. I didn't read the last bit. Thanks for helping me out. Yeah, trolls are not welcome, Mitchell. If you can kind of keep it a bit more, sensible, we'll appreciate it. Zier was mentioning Kim Min-jae cost us the game, and I warned you about this more. Although I don't think he is bad, I still believe in him.
Me and Leo, we just had an nice little exchange about him. So But I mean, I have to give it to you guys. You kind of did point out that he was gonna be rusty coming off it. I didn't feel that, but then there were two mistakes that that do tell a different story.
Which that goes down to Tuchel again.
Yeah.
We could blame Kim. Oh, it's Kim on the pitch. Tuchel, you don't play him. What are you expecting him to do? You know, De Ligt's been injured twice this season already. You know, Kim Min Jae got rusty because he went to play for his country. What were you going to say? No, you can't play for your country. You know what I mean? Like, so stupid. But, yeah. I hate Tuchel, man. I'm sorry.
Couple of... yeah, I get it. Man, I hate him as well. But we should kind of talk about some of the, people that came off the bench, especially guys like Modric, who I think had his say on the game, left an impact, especially defensively as well. Like some of the stuff he was doing was really key to kind of negating what Bayern did. His slide tackle, I'm not sure who was it on Gnabry, was brilliant near the touchline. Who else? Kamavinga, couldn't really get into the game, but left it out there.
He did have trouble getting into the game, like you said, like getting into the rhythm. But towards the end, defensively, I think he was he was pretty good. Like I remember that one tackle on, was it Musiala, where he was kind of running in again, doing one of those runs at Lucas Vazquez, running into the box, where he steps in and completely like neutralizes him outside of it. So that was pretty good from him. But like you said, like he did really have a lot of trouble getting into the rhythm of game, and he was making bad passes, and he was making bad decisions on the ball, bad tackles and everything.
Like
100%.
Sinead, you're talking about substitutions.
Yeah.
Where was my man? Thomas Tuchel told me he was going to score. I don't see no goal.
He had a brilliant run at Mendy. He almost had a very enticing position that he could have shot the ball earlier.
But on the flip side, Carlo Ancelotti said that Vinicius was going to have more of a chance of scoring than Mendy, and Vinicius scored too. So.
Yeah, man. The bowl there ain't no stir in the pot today. The bowl is empty. So.
To
be fair,
Carlet is always the master. So.
To be fair, Gnabry only got 10 minutes, barely, right? Maybe in the second leg he might be stirring the pot. I hope not, but you never know.
See, I would have liked Gnabry to come on. As soon as Sane scored, I would have taken him off because there's that whole of him. The commentators were talking that I was hella heated that he didn't score the first one, so I lost my head from that moment. They were saying that he didn't go to the dressing room because he couldn't stop. He just had to keep moving around, so he was out there the whole time while they were getting team talk or whatever. So if that's the case and he is badly injured, of being serious and not being an idiot, like we should have taken him off straight after that goal. If he gets to get us back into the game, bring Gnabry straight on, and instead you then maybe Tuchel would have been right and he could have got the goal, but he didn't even give him that chance. So
I kind of wonder,
100%.
When you go out into the media and make statements like this, like Gnabry is definitely going to score, and then completely freeze him out of the game. I kind of wonder, like, what kind of a effect that leaves on the players, and you have to wonder if this is the reason why Tuchel is losing the dressing room.
Exactly. Like, why would you put a pressure on a player like that? You could say it about Harry Kane. He scored over 30 goals this season. You know what I mean?
But that would be just stating the obvious, isn't it?
Exactly. I get that, but you may as well say that.
I'm pretty sure he spikes his drink like every time before press conferences or some major interview. Like I'm pretty sure he does something himself. Probably choose something.
Popcorn.
He doesn't make sense most of the time.
No.
Like if I were you wouldn't like I wouldn't really pay much attention to all the stuff he steals, man, on the regular. But I think I've decoded Mitchell Zacharias Allianz. I think he's a United fan.
I think he's a City
I'm sorry
fan.
For you, bro. Is he?
I think so, maybe. I don't know.
Is he?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I felt like he was a United fan probably.
But maybe he's a United fan. You know. I see that comment about McTominay and Maguire.
Yeah, so maybe he was also mentioning people who said Saka or Sane, hold that.
Anyways, man.
Saka is a better player.
Moving on.
you know.
Moving on.
Yeah, 100%. Zia was mentioning Donkey Tuchel needs to know his role and shut his mouth. Talking about Gnabry will score, yet not starting him. I think he's just playing with, playing with the whole, proposition of, what if this gets into, Carlo's head.
Yeah,
But
100%. And Amad there, Zia talks. He's just doing the rock thing there. Know your role and shut your mouth. That's exactly what.
oh yeah,
does it
that
all
completely
the time.
flew above my head.
all
Yeah.
the time, man.
Yeah. big up rock though. 100%. Ashik was mentioning Maguire is going to Barca. Hopefully that's all they can afford now. Alex was mentioning, question for Liam: how did you become a Bayern fan from the UK? That's pretty unique and cool.
Yeah, well, number one, thank you, because I normally get, what an accent, you're English. Iron Robben, he's behind me. Don't know which way. Iron Robben is the guy. And since then, from Iron Robben, watching him for Bayern. Otherwise, I might have been a Real Madrid fan or a Chelsea fan if I found him sooner. But yeah, from watching him play for Bayern, then following like Alaba, Philipp Lahm, and so on, and then just loved the club ever since. But yeah, thank you for the support, because I normally get a lot of hate for being a Bayern fan, but hey ho, it is what it is.
So
Pick up
Liam, can we
yourself.
expect you to sign for Madrid on a free transfer anytime soon?
Wow.
We will be seeing a lot of Liam. I'll tell you that. If that is equivalent to basically, joining camp, may that be the case. But especially with the Davis thing, kind of, up in the air and whatnot, we're going to be seeing a lot of Liam.
And maybe
hopefully.
maybe something that might anger Liam is the fact that there could be a Musiala thing too in the future. You never know.
I hope not. Even, I want Bayern to be back where they belong, especially, from a neutral perspective.
Give us Kylian
So-
Mbappe, you can have him.
Man,
You paid the wage.
even we don't have Kylian Mbappe. What are we gonna do? Are we supposed to give you him?
Nah, we know you're getting him, don't lie.
I mean, Rudiger said it well, like today in an interview. He said, "Kylian Mbappe, who's that?" I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing official.
These guys are in a WhatsApp fucking group chat. I am telling you more, right? They're just downplaying it so much. It's blatantly obvious. These guys are in the know.
Wow, that Papa Perez has got him on speed dial.
Yeah,
How you
not
doing?
just speed
You gonna
dial.
score against Dortmund tomorrow? Oh, okay. Go beat us in the final if you get there.
He won't be able to score. Rudiger is already sharpening his teeth. To split him into half.
I hope he crunches him if he gets it. But hopefully he doesn't get there, because I want Bayern to go through. But
Yeah.
the likelihood of that happening is slim.
But if we go through, Liam, who would you be rooting for?
Neither. I'm going to be crying.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So.
Well,
Be-
Real Madrid aren't beaten in finals. When you talk about Champions League,
Let's not jinx it. You said that once. Let's not repeat it again, ever. Right?
No, but it's
Okay,
true. It's actually fact.
It's facts. But yeah, the more people say it, I just get super
You
nervous.
get a bit scared. Yeah,
100%. Right. But it's a tricky one for you. I know, because Dortmund might be in the equation as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't like Kylian Mbappe. I can't stand him. I think he's an egotistical turd. I won't say anything other than that. But I don't like PSG. Can't stand them either. Obviously, I don't like Dortmund. I see all of the Dortmund followers and that on Twitter going, "Do it for Royce. Do it for Royce. Screw Royce." Number one. He had his chance to come to us and he didn't take it. So yeah, he can do one. But no, I want to get to this final. I get that you guys are Heritage FC and all of that. But I think this is actually the only time I can get to a final, because plane tickets and all of that. So Bayern, I beg, get me to this final, man, please.
It's going to be an interesting second leg, man. Not going to lie. The Bernabeu is going to be up for it. The fans are going to be up for it.
Yeah.
Bayern knows what's coming their way, and Zier is rightfully chatting shit in the chat. He's saying Sunil hates being gaslighted. I do hate it, to a certain extent, because I'm a bit superstitious, not too much, but generally when it comes to football, like
he's very
Yeah.
superstitious. Don't
Yeah,
let him
we
fool
could-
you.
I mean, in football, basically, like I just don't like to take chances. Like I would, watch from a certain angle.
To keep this PG, I'm just gonna say he has favorite pairs of clothes that he wears before Emirates games.
No. Yeah. That's his. Yeah, that's his. Like I'll make it explicit. He has a separate set of undies just for the Champions League nights. Not me. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you are putting it on me, Mo. But
Wow, there's like a civil war going on. What's happening?
because man is trying to shade me for no reason. Like yo, get real. Yeah, Ziertalk says pause. Yeah, man, pick up. Right. Vinicius getting 20 plus goals for the third consecutive season, and basically, yeah, like his GNA is 7 or 8, right, in like the last 8 games or something. It's
even bigger than that. He has the most goal contributions in the Champions League. He's 21-22. So I mean that is the biggest stat of them all. 30 goal contributions. Nobody else is catching after him. Not even the turtle.
That's mad. Because he was someone who was basically getting pelted for not being clinical, not being decisive, stepping up, turning up on the big occasions, carrying his teams, attacking duties single-handedly at times. So yeah, Rajat is bang on point. Vinny is a generational player, 100%. He just has that it factor. If he gets over the line, I'm pretty sure he should be. I know he should be in the Ballon d'Or conversation, but with Jude being kind of the PR turbo boost he's gonna get, I don't think Vinny doesn't really stand a chance. But he should be at least top 3 for me if he sees us over the line for a double. But then again, Mo was mentioning the Euros has a big part to play in it as well.
Yeah, this season is going to be big. Euros is going to be big.
Yeah, and on that as well, I think if England do well, if you guys go to win the Champions League, which is obviously a massive chance, because obviously in the semis, 2-2, so on and so forth. But like England doing well is going to be the problem, and it's going to be like, I don't see why the media are pushing this Jude versus Kane thing. Bayern Munich player is not winning, even if we win the Champions League, and it's an massive if. Harry Kane should be up for it, but he won't be up for it. We don't have that PR. There's not that PR. And yeah, put it this way: if Jude Bellingham wins that, then what else is there to say? To be honest with you, I've given up on that award.
Who was the last Bayern player to win the Ballon d'Or? Was it Franz Beckenbauer or something?
It would be one of those players. Yeah.
Holy shit! That was what, 40 years ago, 50 years ago?
Did Matthias win it?
He won it, I think. Matthias did win it, I think, 1990, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Maybe Matthias, but off the top of my head, like I think that there's just a golden ball of shit opinion, to be honest with you. I really do. Like when Benzema won it, he deserved to win it, flat out. Like
Thank you for saying that.
But like Pessi just goes and robs everyone. It does my head in. It really does.
Hearing you say Pessi.
Nah, man, it's gotta be, man. Because it's like, how is he winning that last one? How was he winning the one before? How is he winning the one before?
I have no idea. Like if you play well or if you play decent, he wasn't even like ripping teams apart. Like he was decent. He was, you could say he was key to an extent, but for a month, really, in a one-off tournament, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Does it?
I spoke to Ahmad about that as well, because I think I thought that World Cup was rigged personally.
Yeah, I did think that as well. So many of us think the same.
Liam is a very he's a very high IQ guy. He knows how to hit all the right notes with Madrid fans.
No, I don't think he's just saying it for saying sake, because I think Liam
No.
genuinely thinks.
What if your best players robbed Ribery? Remember? Okay, let's not.
Yeah, 100%. But Cristiano was insane. Let's be honest.
So now they're starting into dangerous territory with saying 100% he robbed. What was it called? Ribery.
No, I said no. I wasn't agreeing with that fact. I just did mention that Cristiano had an incredible year. Like that isn't comparing Messi's
It wasn't
Ballon
like
d'Or
the
winning
Messi
season.
one.
Nowhere
When
near.
Lewandowski should have won it in 2021.
Yeah.
Like that was a robbery without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. The very fact that they didn't even think
Why
about
are
giving
you
it.
smiling, Mo? You've got something coming. Like, come on. I know you're about to say something mad.
Go for it.
No. I don't really have anything.
Oh, okay. You just like him.
I think he's
I'm just thinking,
something.
you know, Lewandowski gets dropped by a Barcelona player and then he goes on and joins Barcelona. So that was kind of like, you know, ironic in a way.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
And
He just scored a hat trick
as well.
yesterday after the season is finito. Like I don't understand. You know, Barcelona just works in mad ways, I guess. Right.
He left to win a Ballon. He was about to win 2 Ballon d'Ors and then went to join and play with this guy.
Right. Oh, Effenberg. Ashik says Effenberg won in 1996.
Effenberg?
What a
Okay,
player!
yeah.
What a player! Like I've seen bits and bobs of him. Massive. Like, was he just a CDM, or
He
would he
was
play?
just like a juggernaut, to be straight up.
Yeah.
I think
He
played
just looks
all over.
like massive.
Yeah,
I think that's the broadest set of shoulders I've seen on a footballer. Period.
Yeah,
You know,
like,
Effenberg.
I got into football late. I'm only 26, so I haven't watched too much of him. I've never watched him actually play. I've watched.
Yeah, we have
But I
never
have
watched
someone-
Effenberg.
I have someone on my channel. His name's YouTube. He's good lad. He come on the channel and he said Effenberg is his favorite ever player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I respect
Like,
his opinion. So
The bit of 100%, the bit of stuff that I've seen of Effenberg, he just reminded me of like if Oliver Kahn played in midfield, that would be Effenberg. He used to be that nasty all action footballer, to be honest. Sid is in the chat. Big up Sid. He was mentioning we smashed them at the Bernabeu. I hope you're right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like I'm gonna just downplay it. Like Mo is there to give up a bit more optimistic perspective. There'll be other guys joining in who's gonna be giving it to Liam, but I'm gonna just be super new third. To say the least. Right. Sid was also mentioning the Bernabeu will need special moments rather than mistakes like today. 100%. Effenberg was a sweeper. Effenberg wasn't a sweeper. Like I thought he could play a 6. I don't remember. Like I haven't watched him. I don't know much about him. But yeah.
Ashik is saying I think Matthias Samar won it in 1996.
yeah, I think that's
Sama,
where
yeah?
they're coming
Okay.
from saying about Effenberg not being a sweeper is the fact that he was playing with Matthias. So it didn't need to be.
Yeah. Matthias could basically just do his thing. Across the pitch.
He still
100%.
does in the media. Don't worry about that. It's always coming across.
He's a bit of a nonce, isn't he? But in a good way.
Man, do you know what nonce means?
Yeah, I wouldn't
know,
say
I know.
that word personally, but
Really? Okay.
I'd say a bit of a prick.
Okay. It's the same thing, right? Almost the same thing, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No.
It's nowhere
No,
the same
not,
zip
bro.
code.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay. Fair. Like I've always come across Matthias as someone who is just overly critical sometimes, both of his own team and the opposition in general. But get where you guys are coming from, I guess. Right, Ashik was mentioning mixed up the two. Yeah, Effenberg was a CM alongside Matthias. Xerotox was mentioning Chouameni cheeky listens to Muller's CBS interview. I don't know anything about that. What was that about?
He was like Thomas Muller was doing this interview with the CBS crew and Chouameni was
Right.
like, hanging around. I think it wasn't just Chouameni; it was always also Toni Kroos.
Right.
Yeah, Muller was joking
Right.
about the
Oh,
fact that
right,
they're
okay.
looking for tactics. So,
Okay.
but what Muller doesn't know is the fact that what Farouk knows. Ancelotti doesn't do tactics, so it doesn't really matter.
100%. Carlo, like people would believe, if they said it like 20 years later, talking about 2024, 2022, the power of friendship is completely believable, and people would believe it. But there's a method to the madness. I hope Liam can see it. Right? There's a clear method to how we kind of approach games.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, you've got generational talent like Vinicius Junior. You know, like I said it earlier, and I said it in my stream. I lost my head when he did the lift in his shirt and everything, because it's typical that he's wearing a number 7 and he's doing that. And he is the guy that does, like, without him you don't not win that game, draw that game, you don't get a result. So you know, maybe Carlo's got this. He is a Don. Like, he is a Don. It's really annoying that he didn't work for Bayern when he came to Bayern, because he is a genius without a doubt. It's just he has his way, and that's just is what it is, you know. And like we've got Thomas Tuchel that like doesn't want to take players off. Leroy Sané, I say all the time, you know, he must have something on Thomas Tuchel. Why he plays him all the time, and obviously favourites is a thing. But like Carlo, you know, even in the a Clasico, you know, Vinny took him straight off. Like, off, you know. So, yeah, no, 100%.
100%. Right. Anything more to add, Mo, before we kind of slowly wrap this up?
No, man, not really. I think it was a good game today. Kind of what we expected. Kind of what we were warning about. It's going to be a close game, not a basting that some people were expecting. So it was a close game. It lived up to the billing of being the European Clasico, and we go again at the Bernabeu. Hopefully with a different result. Hopefully leaving Liam in tears.
100%. Liam, any closing statements?
Again, I think Bayern should have won that game personally today. I think a lot of hate's going to go on Kim Min-jae because of the 2 mistakes that he's made. Again, like you guys have said, is that, you know, the critics are going to go straight to Kim Min-jae. They won't give the rewards to the good work that Vinicius and Rodrigo did do to get that, you know, to get that goal, and, you know, Cruz that pass and just wait. There you go, and go and get it. Eric Dyer should have scored, didn't. Leroy Sané should have been clinical, and obviously he scores that goal. But other than that, it's annoying. I just feel depleted, to be honest with you. I was really nervous going into the game. I was waiting to get smushed. Didn't happen, and then I kind of felt after that I was like, maybe we should have won that game. You know, from getting, it's totally different scales, isn't it? From getting smashed to then feeling like we should have won. So yeah, that's all I would say. But yeah.
So all in all, you know, like you were kind of feeling a bit deflated, you know, because you thought you guys could have done better. But all in all, I think the result is completely up for grabs in the second leg. I think it, you know, serves up some interesting storylines going into the next leg. But yeah, people in the chat who thinks, you know, like we were kind of defensive. This is what we do. This is what we are about, especially in the big games under Carlo. And I wasn't surprised. Like, I knew for a fact that like some people were believing that this is not City against Bayern. We could be a lot more expressive. I still believed, you know, Madrid will go to Munich with one thing in mind, that the second leg is at home, and would only react and not really force the issue, which was exactly how it played out. But then again, this tie is completely wide open. People who think that either team don't really, you know, have a say at the Bernabeu is just you know, kidding themselves. But big up the chat, big up every single one of you who tuned in and who's going to be tuning in later on. Smash up the likes on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2K. Go and subscribe to the Bayern View. Liam and us, you know, we will be kind of collaborating all throughout summer. Yeah, and you know, kind of talking about his favorite godson, Alphonso Davies, for a bit. You know, fingers crossed how that's gonna pan out. No clue so far, but we'll be doing previews on both our channels. So yeah, smash up the likes and yeah, subscribe to Liam's channel as well. Big up our partners, Real Madrid Committee on Instagram. They run a brilliant Instagram fan page, Madrid fan page. Basically, go check them out. Go show some love to our partners, manscaped.com. LBR 20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. Pioneers of men's grooming, go check them out. Their catalog is brilliant. Something that you guys have been asking us for ages to, how do you show some love to the pod? This is your opportunity. LBR 20 to get 20% off again on manscaped.com. But yeah, Cadiz on the weekend should be a distraction, is a distraction. Hopefully we, roll them over and rest a few players and, completely shift our focus to Wednesday's season definer. And quick question before we go. PSG Dortmund, who's nicking it tomorrow, Liam?
Draw. I think it'll
You
be a
reckon,
draw.
yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know where the first leg is? Is it
In Germany.
second?
Both of them are in Germany,
Okay.
yeah.
Iduna Park. Okay. Right. Mo, what do you reckon?
I think it's going to be PSG.
Okay. You still undermine Dortmund's pedigree, yeah? That they can actually turn up.
No,
For
man,
a big game.
PSG is going to do it. Kylian Mbappe is going to rise up.
It's for your boy, really.
I mean, as
Okay.
much as I wish that Dortmund would completely roll PSG over tomorrow, I'm gonna be a Dortmund fan, cheering them on and everything. But for me, the pragmatics in me says that Kylian Mbappe and PSG are gonna be too strong for them.
Dortmund has really surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. They have really surprised me
See, the
this
thing is,
season. But
there are a lot of surprises, but all surprises in the Champions League and at the semi-final stage. At the finals, it's always gonna be two big teams. So.
Yeah. They don't have that bad boy striker Lewandowski either anymore. So, yeah.
Fair enough. I'll be rooting for Dortmund, 100%. But yeah, Mbappe can have a good game, and stay injury free. All that stuff heading into the summer. That's all I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, big up the chat again. Until next time, people. Hala Madrid.
Hola Madrid.
To go out.
You can't end the pod without